There are crimes that shock us, crimes that puzzle us, crimes that stay with us forever. And every now and then, a crime comes along that's stranger than fiction.
I didn't do it!
Welcome to What a Crime.
What a crime.
The show where we dig into the most bizarre, baffling, and twisted crimes in history. From unsolved mysteries to shocking confessions, we're here to uncover the truth, one strange case at a time. Tonight, we're rolling the dice to try and solve one of the weirdest cases you'll ever hear about. The Hill House murders. A deadly dinner party, 6 suspects, an ominous waitstaff, a knife, a revolver, a lead pipe, a candlestick, a rope, and a wrench, all in this house full of secrets. Get ready, crime fans. Things are about to get whack. It was a night none of them would ever forget. A stormy evening in 1954. A mysterious mansion in New England and a dinner party that would turn into a deadly game of secrets and lies.
Why is the car stopped?
It's frightened.
One by one, they arrived with mysterious invitations signed only by a friend. Each guest carried a dark secret, and none of them knew what was waiting for them inside Hill House. Inside the mansion, the preparations were underway. Wadsworth, the butler, had been tasked with overseeing the evening's events. Yvette, the maid, danced around the house, cleaning glassware, and Mrs. Ho, the cook, quietly tended to the very unusual meal. First to arrive, Colonel Mustard, a decorated war hero, or so he claimed. Behind the medals, Mustard had been selling warplane parts on the black market, making deals with the highest bidder. A man who'd profited from war, and tonight his secrets were about to catch up with him. Next came Mrs. White, the widow in black. She had buried 5 husbands, all of whom had died under mysterious circumstances. The most famous was her husband, the illusionist, who disappeared and never reappeared. Mrs. Peacock, the wife of a U.S. senator. She was used to the finer things in life, but what most people didn't know was that Mrs. Peacock had been accepting bribes from foreign governments, quietly lining her husband's pockets with dirty money. Then there was Mr. Green. He worked in Washington too, but the real secret he was hiding was his sexual orientation, something that, in 1954, could ruin a man's life. Last to arrive, and together no less, were Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum. Miss Scarlet, the DC madam with a client list full of powerful men, had more than her fair share of secrets to protect. Senators, lobbyists, military officials. Her secrets could topple governments. And as far as Professor Plum, he was a disgraced psychiatrist who'd had an affair with one of his patients. The scandal had cost him his medical license, and tonight he was just as desperate to keep his past buried.
It just leaves Mr. Boddy.
What's your little secret?
His secret? Oh, hadn't you guessed? He's the one who's blackmailing you.
Mr. Boddy had gathered them together, but his plan wasn't just to expose them. No, Mr. Boddy had something far more dangerous in mind. Kill Wadsworth, the butler. Wadsworth knew too much. and Boddy wanted to make sure he was silenced. But what Boddy didn't know was that his plan was about to backfire in the deadliest way possible.
The only way to avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth. Now.
Instead of killing Wadsworth, one of the guests killed Mr. Boddy. But who? That was the question that would haunt the guests for the rest of the night. But sometimes you don't need a clever butler or a detective to solve your mystery. Sometimes you just need a DNA test. Which leads us to the sponsor of this video. Who do you think you are? The leading DNA service that helps you uncover the mysteries of your own family tree. Whether you're searching for lost relatives, looking to uncover family secrets, or just trying to figure out where you get those killer instincts, with Who Do You Think You Are, your DNA results will connect you to ancestors across generations, and maybe unlock the skeletons in your family closet. Just use promo code MYSTERYDISCOUNT75. What a crime! Save bucks 12131985 at checkout for a special discount. And speaking of secrets, the night was far from over for our guests at Hill House. Mr. Boddy, as it turns out, wasn't the only victim. The killer wasn't done. Not by a long shot. One by one, those connected to Mr. Boddy's blackmail scheme began to fall.
Who else is in the house? Only the cook. The cook!
First, Mrs. Ho, the cook. She wasn't just any servant, she had once worked for Mrs. Peacock. She knew all about the bribes, the corruption, and now she was silenced before she could talk. Next, the motorist. He wasn't just a lost traveler, he was Colonel Mustard's former driver, a man who had helped transport illegal shipments of warplane parts during the war. But tonight, the motorist's past caught up with him. Then came the cop, a man on Miss Scarlett's payroll. For years, he'd been keeping her brothel in business by looking the other way. But tonight, he wasn't there for protection. He was there for answers. And unfortunately, he wouldn't get any. Did this cop really think these suspicious fiends were just having a party? And then Yvette, the maid. She wasn't just an innocent servant either. She worked for Miss Scarlett too, gathering secrets and playing her own part in Mr. Boddy's blackmail scheme. But Yvette had seen too much, and the killer knew it. And just when they thought it couldn't get any worse, the final victim arrived.
Da-da-da-da-da. I am your singing telegram.
But she wasn't just any young woman in a bellhop costume singing a song about being someone who sings a song. She was the woman at the center of Professor Plum's scandalous affair. And with her death, the final piece of the puzzle fell into place. But the killer was sloppy.
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
But depending on who you ask, the identity of the killer might change. Some say it was Miss Scarlett, desperate to protect her real business, collecting government secrets. That's how it could have happened. Or how about this? Others say it was Mrs. Peacock trying to cover up her bribes. Or maybe what really happened was, believe it or not, everyone had a hand in the crimes.
You were jealous that your husband was stopping Yvette. That's why you killed him, too.
Yes. Yes, I did it. I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving breaths.
So it must have been Mr. Green who shot the singing telegram.
I didn't do it.
And you'll just go on blackmailing us all. Of course. Why not? Well, I'll tell you why not. Good shot, Green.
Almost everyone. So, who really did it? Who was the real murderer or murderers? Unfortunately, it seems we don't really have a clue. But do you have a theory? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell. And with that, we conclude the story of the Hill House murders. One that will continue to intrigue, confuse, and entertain for years to come. This has been What a Crime.
What a crime.
Did I mention like and subscribe and ring the bell? So you won't miss any of our upcoming mysteries, because who knows? Maybe the next secret we reveal will be yours.